up on Channel 8 News, how did Denim Day affect K-State students on campus yesterday? Plus, how has the inflation of gas prices affected the community? And later, what are these robotic mowers everyone is seeing at Seco Park? First, let's take it to our weather center for this morning's forecast.
Here's our current weather for today here in Manhattan. We've got some cloudy weather, mid-50s, with a feels-like temperature at 49 degrees and some light 5-mile-per-hour winds. We've got more weather for you coming up on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Braden Cameron. Coming up today, we'll update you on how gas prices are rising and affecting the Manhattan residents. And later, we'll see what damage tornadoes can do to local communities. K-State Greek Life and student body are mourning the loss of one of their own students who passed away on Tuesday, according to the K-State Collegian. Last weekend, 19-year-old Sigma Chi philanthropy chairman Jake Flyshaker fell out of the fraternity house's window at 3:15 a.m. last Saturday. He was transferred to Stormont Vale Hospital in Topeka, where later he succumbed to his injuries. Flyshaker was a freshman from Overland Park, studying finance at K-State, and previously graduated from Blue Valley Northwest High School. Channel 8 will continue to cover this story, as this is an ongoing investigation. April 29th marked Denim Day, a global movement raising awareness about sexual violence and honoring survivors. At Kansas State, that message was seen and felt throughout campus. Rebecca Tonkin has more.
It's something almost everyone owns, a pair of jeans found in nearly every closet. On this day, however, denim represents much more than just clothing. It carries a deeper message. Denim Day began in 1999 after a court ruling in Italy sparked international outrage and a movement challenging myths surrounding sexual violence and consent.
This global movement started Denim Day, basically just to acknowledge that, hey, what you wear is not an excuse for someone to rape you, and also you can be raped or sexually assaulted no matter what you're wearing. So CARE supports students, faculty, and staff who've been affected by sexual or interpersonal violence.
Organizers say the goal isn't just wearing denim today. It's making sure students know what resources are available and where to turn to if they need help.
I went to CARE because I worked there and I knew it existed. It validated what I was feeling after what happened to me, but also I felt kind of like I was going a little bit crazy in my own head, trying to figure out what had happened, if I'm overreacting, anything like that, and I just felt safe and supported.
The jeans worn today symbolize support and awareness, reminding everyone that help is available and that no one has to face challenges alone.
I think being out here for Denim Day shows me and probably a lot of survivors and just our community that we care about the people here, and we care when something happens to them, and there are places and safe people you get to go to, and you deserve to go to them as well.
Building on that message, students and campus partners came together, using denim as a symbol of support and a powerful reminder to stay aware. In Manhattan, Rebecca Tonkin, Channel 8 News.
Organizers emphasize that ongoing conversations are essential for lasting change, and they encourage all Wildcats to carry discussions beyond the month of April. Gas prices are rising across Manhattan, with drivers now paying some of the highest rates we've seen this year. According to AAA, the average price for a gallon of regular unleaded gasoline in Riley County has climbed to just over $3.70, marking a steady increase over the past few weeks. Experts say several factors are driving the spike, including higher crude oil costs, seasonal demand as summer travel approaches, and ongoing global conflicts. Local drivers say the impact is already hitting their wallets.
They are affecting me. They're expensive. I mean, they've gone up almost twice. Tank of gas used to cost me like $20 and now it's over 40. And you know, that gives me less money to spend on groceries or go out with my friends, have a good time. Now we're just about forced to go out on Thursday to get the Dollar Wells, you know. So it's a hard time out here.
I'm not really stressed out about gas prices. I'm more stressed out about the cause of rising gas prices, which is the war in Iran.
The K-State Gardens have been a Manhattan landmark for more than 150 years, and one Manhattan man says he's not done showing up for it. Bella Zarati has more.
At 95 years old, Marvin Hackmeister has been running in Manhattan since 1979, and Saturday he showed up once again for the 5th annual Run for the Roses.
Yeah, I like to see all the people. They're a big encouragement to me, so I can keep running. That's what I do.
Hackmeister, who remembers when these grounds were a dairy barn back in 1954, still shows up and still donates each year. He was one of the nearly 800 runners and walkers who laced up at the K-State Gardens, a race that has become about a lot more than a finish line.
Because people were so enthusiastic, they loved it, and we have grown by a lot more exponentially than most races. We started with about 200. We may hit 800 this year. And all of the money that we raise goes right back to the gardens.
That community investment has paid off, allowing the gardens to purchase roses and tulips they simply didn't have before.
One of the jobs we do as a board is to try and raise awareness of the gardens. So as more and more people get involved, the awareness continues to grow and grow.
Organizers say what makes the Run for the Roses so different is exactly what you're seeing. This isn't just a finish line, but it's the community showing up for the gardens, the university, and for each other. And after 5 years of growth, the gardens aren't slowing down, and neither is Marvin Hackmeister. In Manhattan, Bella Zarati, Channel 8 News.
The K-State Gardens will also be celebrating America's 250th birthday this summer with a special garden party on July 5th. For more information and upcoming events, head over to their website. The Manhattan Parks and Rec Department recently deployed their first fleet of robotic mowers at the new Steel and Pipe Supply Ballpark at Seco Park. Bryson Bird has more.
The new era of lawn care has arrived in the Little Apple and is taking over ballparks all over town. Manhattan Parks and Rec currently has a fleet of 31 mowers with the hopeful 8 more to come. Some of the mowers were bought with internal funds, but majority were acquired via the U.S. Department of Energy grant.
What we found is they're operating safely. They recognize obstructions, so they will go around that. But so far, we haven't had any incidents.
The mowers operate via a GPS system accessed remotely. While effective, manpower is still required as the machines can't do it all just yet.
We brought them on basically as an enhancement to that. They mow when a lot of times when our staff is not here. Still, they don't.
Complaints, no water breaks. Baseball and softball fields are notorious for needing upkeep, but with these new robotic mowers, there's no need for a walk. There's only one perfect inning after another.
They're getting good enough now that they last long enough, and it's worth the labor cost to send it out there and kind of forget about it. It's just another person you don't have to have in a morning meeting or pay 40 hours a week.
These high-tech machines are all capable of operating in rainy conditions and can knock out 4 fields in the same amount of time it usually takes to do one. In Manhattan, Bryson Bird, Channel 8 News.
The mowers currently operate at 10 different locations, and the department is hopeful to expand to more in the future. Coming up on Channel 8 News, we'll sit down with Maddie Coulter, website manager of the Manhattan Magazine, to hear about tonight's release party. What will the rest of this week's weather look like? Are there any tornadoes on the radar? Stay tuned.
You ready?
If you can keep up.
Can you do this? Yeah, let's do it. I got a job interview today. Here we go. Congratulations. Thank you.
Come on! Starting!
Fighting, ever fighting. Though it comes at the end of our fight song, it marks a new beginning. Fighting, ever fighting, will lead us into the future. In this era of change, our foundation stays unshaken. Fighting, ever fighting, for our community, our state, for the purple and the white. Creating a spirit that never falters. This is K-State. Fighting, ever fighting.
center with the wind. It is gone! Always smiling, Shinjiro Inoue.
I've been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Never give up for the game! K-State wins! K-State wins!
Here we go, here we go. What are you really willing to sacrifice to get there?
As a fan, you're going to get access to things that you typically wouldn't get.
Go crazy, everybody!
Everybody's really, really excited to do something special.
Now let's hear from Maddie Coulter, website manager of the Manhattan Happening magazine, live in the studio. Kendra?
Thanks, Braden. Thank you, Maddie, for joining me in the studio this morning. To start, can you just tell me a little bit about the Manhattan magazine?
So the Manhattan magazine is one of our student-run publications on campus, and we heavily focus on lifestyle, but our topics that are diverse with agriculture, sports, fashion, beauty, cosmetics, stuff like that. But the staff comes from all degree programs across the campus.
So how many students are involved with the magazine, and what kind of roles do they have?
So it fluctuates between semesters of how many students we have running the magazine, but we typically have around 20. And there's different parts that you can have as a staff member, but across the board, it's photography, design, and writing.
What skills are students learning with the magazine when they join?
They typically come to the magazine if they are from a program that isn't journalism. We have journalism students, but from my experience as being not in journalism, I came to experience a hands-on learning tool for graphic design, and a lot of people come for the same reason.
So with the skills they're learning in the magazine, how can that affect them in their careers in the future, or your career in the future?
It's something great that you can have on your resume as something that you do have a schedule and you do have work to do that is on a deadline. So it puts you in a real scenario to use your skills that you're building in the classroom and outside.
So tonight is the magazine's release party. So what does that community support and the student support mean to the magazine?
So we have a release party at Yard Bar, and it all comes to give out the free magazine to everyone that is provided by ads that we have from the community.
That's great. That's all the time we have for today, so thank you so much for coming into the studio. Braden, back to you.
Thanks, Kendra. Coming up on Channel 8 News, we'll take a trip to our weather center to take a look at our weekend forecast. And later, how did the Cats bat against their in-state rival, the Jayhawks? Stay tuned for more.
Fighting, ever fighting. Though it comes at the end of our fight song, it marks a new beginning. Fighting, ever fighting, will lead us into the future. In this era of change, our foundation stays unshaken. Fighting, ever fighting, for our community, our state, for the purple and the white. Creating a spirit that never falters. This is K-State. Fighting, ever fighting.
Championship on the line.
I've been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Never give up for the game! K-State wins! K-State wins!
Here we go, here we go. What are you really willing to sacrifice to get there?
As a fan, you're going to get access to things that you typically wouldn't get.
Go crazy, everybody!
Everybody's really, really excited to do something special.
You look at toughness and the ability and the mental and intestinal fortitude to play this game of football the way that it needs to be played is different. Some people like to visit physicality, we live that. We're going to be the new old school, and we are going to move our program forward and take the steps necessary to chase excellence in everything we do. And the time is now. Every single one of us in here has something to give to help take this program where we need it to go.
Following K-State's tornado warnings last week, what does this forecast look like this weekend? Let's take it over to our Weather Center for more. Uriah?
Last Thursday, the tornado sirens were sounding here in Manhattan, which ended up being a false alarm with no sign of a tornado, but Lake Cahola, a small community just south of Council Grove, was not so lucky. Connor Walstead has more.
Though the sirens in Manhattan were a false alarm, no sirens were blaring when a tornado touched down for 4 minutes near Council Grove. Starting at about 6:30, with winds getting up to 110 miles per hour, it was enough to rip garages off their bearings, completely destroying them. And for residents like Cara Warkentine, it was devastating.
A lot of blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of love went to what we've built here, and the time that we spend with our family here and what this place means to us. And so that's the hardest part right now.
Couch cushions and some of our outdoor furniture was wrapped in the power lines and trees, and I mean, exactly how you imagine it.
Although there was a lot of damage, this tight-knit Lake Cahola community came together with the help of some heavy machinery to rebuild this beautiful landscape. And the support wasn't just from within their small community either, as people from all over Kansas came to support those in need like Warkentine.
There was a group here preparing meals and serving us as we were cleaning up our properties. We had some folks with some heavy equipment come in and help remove a lot of debris.
And now, a week removed from the tornado, the Lake Cahola community has their eyes on the future, looking to build back even better than it was before. In Council Grove, Connor Walstead, Channel 8 News.
Life is going on as normal in the Council Grove area, with a fishing tournament going on as scheduled this week. Taking a closer look at our national forecast for today, starting up in the northeast area with the Michigan mid-40s with some cloudy weather. As we move down south on the east coast in the Georgia-Florida area, we see some low 60s with some clouds as well. Moving across here to the west coast in the New Mexico-Arizona area, we see some high 50s with some clouds and sun. Moving up the west coast into Northern California, we see some high 60s and sunny weather there. Centering back here into Texas, we see some high 60s as well, but with a chance of rain. And back here in Kansas, we see some high 50s and some clouds. Taking a closer look here at our Kansas weather for today, we see a pretty similar theme across the state with some high 50s in the Kansas City area, as well as Wichita and western Kansas. In northern Kansas, we see some mid 50s, and back here in Manhattan, some high 50s. For tomorrow's planner, in the morning, it'll be 41 degrees, and into the afternoon, it'll warm up a little bit and get cloudy with some low 60s, and then into the evening, it'll dip back down into the mid 50s and get a little bit cloudy. Tomorrow's precipitation chance is at 0% with some light 5-mile-per-hour winds. Taking a look here at our 5-day forecast, we see a pretty similar theme from today and tomorrow with some cloudy weather in the 60s. But into the weekend, we see things clear up a little bit and get sunnier. Saturday, we got the high of 62 and some sun. Into Sunday and Monday, it gets even warmer into the high 70s, feeling more like some summer weather. A great time to go out and get some activities done. That's all the weather we have for today. Back to you, Braden.
Thanks, Uriah. Coming up on Channel 8 News, we'll see which K-State football players got selected in the 2026 NFL Draft. Stay tuned.
I've been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Never give up for the count!
K-State wins! K-State wins! Here we go. What are you really willing to sacrifice to get there?
As a fan, you're going to get access to things that you typically wouldn't get.
Go crazy, everybody!
Everybody's really, really excited to do something special.
Matliak out to left, back to back, good night! He drives it out towards center with the wind. It is gone! Always smiling, Shintaro Inoue.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, it's one extra year and I do love K-State. So it's like, a win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
Championship on the line. Good! It's good!
Now let's hear from our Sports Center about this week in K-State sports. Emma?
With the Sunflower Showdown wrapping up a few days ago, both K-State and KU sit in vastly different spots heading to the end of the season. Braden Misaki has more.
K-State and KU squared off in Manhattan for the Sunflower Showdown, with both teams needing a series win for different reasons. The Wildcats needed the wins to stay in the current picture for the NCAA tournament, while the Jayhawks were looking to remain atop the Big 12 standings and in contention to host a regional at the NCAA tournament.
I mean, it was a good week last week, but honestly our focus now is just keep winning games, keep giving us an opportunity to put us in a good spot come the rest of the season. I think just the chemistry we have as a team right now and the energy we're playing with is just boosting our confidence and helping us win close games.
The Kansas Jayhawks swept the Kansas State Wildcats for the first time since 1963 and remain in first place in the Big 12 Conference and in place to host an NCAA tournament regional. The Wildcats fall to 9-12 in conference play and will have to fight their way back if they want to reach a third straight NCAA tournament.
The Big 12 is an absolute monster this year, and you look up and down the standings, and there's no floor to it. I think the Big 12 is clearly the second best league in the country. I don't even think it's close.
With it being such a strong conference, both the Wildcats and Jayhawks will have plenty of games coming up to strengthen their resumes and get where they need to go. This week, the Wildcats had a non-conference chance to strengthen their resume against former Big 12 foe Nebraska, but were ultimately walked off, which adds salt to the wound for K-State this week. In Manhattan, Braden Misaki, Channel 8 News.
With Tuesday's loss, the Wildcats moved to 26-19 overall. Kansas State will be back on the diamond this weekend looking to break a 4-game losing streak as they travel to West Virginia for a 3-game series. It was a memorable weekend for Kansas State football as 2 former Wildcats heard their names called at the NFL Draft.
The Carolina Panthers select Sam Heck, center, Kansas State.
New York Jets select Victor Payne, DB, Kansas State.
3 other Wildcats also got their opportunity at the next level. Defensive tackle Uso Useomalo signing with the Seattle Seahawks, Dren Bradley signing with the Los Angeles Chargers, and Gunnar Maldonado earning rookie camp invites from the Chiefs and Giants. Heck described what draft day meant for him and his family.
Today's been just filled with family, really. Just all settled down, watching the draft, just waiting for my name to be called. I had a Zoom with the Panthers, so we were in touch. But yeah, super excited.
In total, 5 former Wildcats will get their first shot in the NFL this season. Hecton Payne as draft picks, Bradley and Seumalo as undrafted free agents, and Maldonado with mini-camp opportunities in Kansas City and New York. It is a sign of Kansas State football continuing to produce players ready to compete at the highest level. That's all we have for sports this week. Braden, back to you.
Thanks, Emma. Coming up on Channel 8 News, we'll take a look at our weekend forecast. Stay with us.
You look at toughness and the ability and the mental and intestinal fortitude to play this game of football the way that it needs to be played is different. Some people like to visit physicality, we live that. We're going to be the new old school, and we are going to move our program forward and take the steps necessary to chase excellence in everything we do. And the time is now. Every single one of us in here has something to give to help take this program where we need it to go.
Fighting, ever fighting. Though it comes at the end of our fight song, it marks a new beginning. Fighting, ever fighting, will lead us into the future. In this era of change, our foundation stays unshaken. Fighting, ever fighting, for our community, our state for the purple and the white, creating a spirit that never falters. This is K-State, fighting, ever fighting.
Yeah, so the first third of the runway.
Deviations left of course approved. Bobcat 1-2, proceed when able.
Championship on the line. Good! It's good!
A brand new retro gaming and collectible store has come to Manhattan. TJ Chrisman has more.
Nerd Nation opened its doors for the first time in Manhattan on March 23rd for its soft opening. Manhattan's newest buy, sell, and trade resale gaming shop offers an unmatched collection of goodies ranging from Pokemon cards to games and consoles, both new and retro. Following the success of his first store in Shawnee, owner Michael Kennedy knew that it was time to bring Nerd Nation to Manhattan.
I've always considered Manhattan kind of my home away from home. It's not where I grew up, but spent 5 years at Kansas State University. I had an amazing time there. And I felt like this was kind of the perfect spot for a second location. Community sport's been great. We have people coming in every day. And
once the Manhattan community gets to meet the staff behind Nerd Nation, support should only continue to grow.
I've been gaming for like the past decade and a half of my life, and I just love the culture. I love being around the people.
I've always enjoyed video games, and even though I don't collect, personally, I love seeing card collections. So working at this store has been absolutely amazing, and especially pulling up a lot of nostalgia for me from my earlier childhood when I did collect.
Nerd Nation's grand opening is right around the corner on May 9th. And if you're a fan of gaming, you're not going to want to miss it.
giving away a bunch of stuff. It's going to be awesome. We're going to bring out a lot of new product. It's going to be an awesome day, and I hope you guys can come out and see it.
In Manhattan, TJ Chrisman, Channel 8 News.
If you want to visit Nerd Nation yourself, you can find them at 900 Hayes Drive here in Manhattan. That's all.
One last look at our weekend forecast. As we saw earlier, into the weekend, things are going to clear up a bit and get sunnier. Into Sunday, it'll be a little bit of summer weather for us. That's all we have for today. Back to you, Braden.
And that's all we have for today on Channel 8 News. Come back next week for our final show of the semester. From all of us at Channel 8 News, have a great rest of your Thursday and stay tuned.